Move on to the bottom of the first inning as the Wolves will come up to the plate. Matthew Schilling on the mound here today for the Twins. Getting the start here against Eagle River. Team that lit up the scoreboard yesterday for 14 runs against Palmer. The bats were hot throughout the game for Eagle River. We'll see what happens here this afternoon against Matthew Schilling as Dallin Roberts, the Wolves catcher, will lead things off. Schilling, a left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitting Dallin Roberts as Schilling fires a first pitch strike. 0-1 from Schilling. Chopper to the shortstop. Andrew Pye is there. Couple of hops, throws to first, and safe is Roberts. Able to beat it out for an infield hit. So an infield hit for Dallin Roberts, even after a strong throw from Andrew Pye. So the speedy catcher is aboard as Dalton Smith, the third baseman, will stride to the plate. Smith squared around, pulled the bat back to take ball one. Roberts at first, Smith in the batter's box, Liam Learman in the on-deck circle. Ball two. After Learman, number 4 man of the order is Gunnar Mountcastle. Number 5 man, Jack Mullen. Batting 6th is Brooks Inch. Batting 7th, Ryan Mullen. Batting 8th, Cam Kurtz. And batting 9th, Tommy Malloy. As this time trying to push it along the first base line was Dalton Smith, but pushes it foul. 2-1 the count. Two-one pitch. 3-1. As Schilling struggling to find the strike zone here against Dalton Smith. Set the defense here for the Twins here in just a moment. That time, beautiful bunt. And thrown out is Dalton Smith, but he does his job. Sacrifice bunt. Out number 1, but it advances Dallin Roberts over to second. So here is Liam Learman. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Bounces up there, good stop by Ari Miller. Gives us a chance to set the defense here for the Twins. Miller behind the plate. Gabe Jonas over at first base, Jacob Jonas at second. Andrew Pye at short, and Gabe Smith over at third. Called strike. Hunter Williams is in left, Levi Mickelson in center, and Trenton Onimus over in right. 1-1 pitch is inside for ball 2. And a warning to head coach Bill Learman down at the third base coach's box. Not exactly sure what was said or did. Three and one. Three-one pitch. Ball 4. And a walk issued to Liam Learman. It's hard to believe that the Eagle River Wolves are looking potentially for their 4th straight Alaska Legion State baseball title. I mean, this was a team that when they were first founded as a school and then started playing American Legion baseball, that was middle to below the pack. And then Bill Learman comes in and has made them a perennial power. Oh, 1. Down the left field line, slicing foul, out of play. This is Gunnar Mountcastle at the plate for Eagle River. Oh, 2. 1-2. Runners at first and at second. This one knocked foul toward the parking lot, back toward the Sullivan Arena. One-two pitch. Chopper down to the first baseman. He's going to go to second to get one run, or one runner, I should say. As the force out of Liam Learman. Fielder's choice. As Jack Mullen, the center fielder, will come up to the plate with 2 outs, runners at the corners. Outside from Schilling for ball 1. Chopper in foul territory. Just did field it in foul territory on the before the third base bag, I should say. It was close. Called strike. One and two. Schilling delivers 1-2 pitch. Outside to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Breeze picking up a little bit more here at Mulcahy from right to left field. You can hear it rippling in the crowd, Mike. 2-2, runner goes. And the catcher, Ari Miller, just threw it right back to the pitcher, Matthew Schilling, to make sure that the runner over at third, Dallin Roberts, wasn't trying to race home. It is a stolen base for Gunnar Mountcastle, as the 3-2 pitch is outside for ball 4 and a walk to Jack Mullen. So the bases are loaded now for the left-handed hitting Brooks Inch. Ball delivered up high. So Matthew Schilling in a little bit of a jam here in the bottom of the first. Bases loaded. There are 2 out, however. 1-0 pitch. Fouled into the screen. One. Fouled back out of play. 1-2. Eagle River trying to get on the board first here tonight. Schilling's 1-2. Lifted out to left center field. Could be trouble as the center fielder diving as Mickelson can't get there. Base hit drives in a couple of runs as the bases were loaded. And it's a 2-0 lead for Eagle River. Two RBI single for Brooks Inch. And now Ryan Mullen, who got the victory yesterday on the mound, pitching 4 complete innings. Stands in there at the plate. Takes a pitch up high for a ball. One 0. 2-0 now. Two-0 pitch. Ari Miller tried to frame it back into the strike zone, but to no avail. 3-0. Runners at the corners, 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way that time was Ryan Mullen. Takes a called strike. And ball 4. And once again, the base is loaded. Bottom of the first here for Schilling. So Kurt stands in with the bases loaded. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. One 0. 2-0. No action in the Kenai bullpen as of yet. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss by Kurtz. Foul tipped it into the glove of Miller. Since swing and a miss, he actually did get a piece. Two 2-1. Popped up, foul territory, out of play, first base side. 2-2. Two. Kurt stays alive. Three and 2. Bases loaded, 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be off with the pitch here. Runners go. Pitch outside and a walk issued to Kurtz. brings in a run. Credit Kurtz with an RBI. Brooks Inch moves up to third. Ryan Mullen up to second. Kurtz over at first. The ninth man to bat here in the bottom of the first, Tommy Malloy, the second baseman. Takes a pitch outside for ball one. And Schilling here struggling, to say the least. 1-0, 2-0. So just did catch the corner that time. I was almost going to say 3-0, but it's 2-1. The way that Schilling has danced around the strike zone, somewhat surprised he got that call. 2-1 pitch is up high, 3-1. And now Schilling a ball away from walking in the second consecutive run. And he does. So the Wolves have batted around here in the home half of the first. So Roberts back to the top of the order. Led off the game with a base hit, as Ari Miller and Matthew Schilling having a quick chat. All these runs, by the way, coming with 2 outs for Eagle River. Called strike on the outside edge, delivered to Dallin Roberts. Roberts had that infield hit. Andrew Pye at short. Unable to throw him out. Here's Roberts, tapper foul. One-hand play made by head coach Bill Learman down at the third base box. And Bill Learman saying, hey, get a new ball out. I think was maybe the motion maybe, but now we're ready to roll. 0-2. 1-2. One-two pitch. Left center field could be trouble, and it hangs up in the air. And the center fielder, Levi Mickelson, comes over at the last moment to third strikeout of the game for Gunnar Mountcastle. Now 2 are out for Ari Miller. Big swing by Miller. Comes up empty. And time taken here by Mountcastle as he steps off the mound for a brief moment. And him and Dallin Roberts not on the same page here. As Mountcastle gets the sign from Roberts, and now once again, too much time being taken, and Ari Miller this time is the one that asked for time, and it is granted. Mountcastle in the last couple of batters has really slowed his delivery down. 0-1, 0-2. He has taken a lot more time than he had in the first handful of batters of this game. Oh, 2 pitch from Mountcastle. Went back to that breaking ball, but missed that time. Mountcastle in time called just prior to Gunnar Mountcastle starting his delivery home. It was late, but just did get it in there. And he struck him out nevertheless. Struck out the side in an unconventional way. Mountcastle, the 3 batters due up here to face Matthew Schilling, who had a very rough bottom of the first. 4 runs. Gave up 2 hits, but he walked 4 batters. 2 of those walks bringing in 2 runs. And the bases were loaded. 2-0 pitch outside to Smith. It's 3-0. Four-pitch walk to Dalton Smith. 5th walk of the game for Matthew Schilling. Learman in his first plate appearance walked. He was actually the first walk that Matthew Schilling gave up. Learman squared around to bunt, pulled it back, takes ball 1. Pulled it back again, but this time takes a called strike. Wolves love to put runners in motion and try to advance them station to station. Learman pushes it foul, third base side now. So now it's 1-2. Doubt that they keep the bunt on here for Liam Learman. 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2-2. Two-two delivery. Strikeout. Throw down to second. It's not going to be in time. Learman down on strikes. Stolen base, however, for Dalton Smith. First strikeout of the game for Matthew Schilling. As Gunnar Mountcastle, the opposing pitcher, will stand in there. Takes a pitch up high for a ball. Gunnar in his first plate appearance hit into a fielder's choice, stole a base, scored one of the 4 runs for Eagle River in that bottom of the first. Called strike, 1-1. A lot more baseball on tap Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. 3 games tomorrow, 3 games Tuesday. Pitch outside for a ball. The semifinals on Wednesday and the championship game on Thursday. Tournament set up in a pool play format, so you take the top 2 out of each pool. 4 teams going into the semifinals. Pitch was inside for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Here to Gunnar Mountcastle. 3-1 pitch from Schilling. Ground ball, base hit. They're going to wave around Dalton Smith. It's a little dribbler into left field, but now they put the brakes on, and Mountcastle on the throw home is going to advance down to second. It'll be a single for Mountcastle. And the throw home allowing Mountcastle to advance to second. So 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out now for Jack Mullen. Listen out to right field. Should be deep enough for the runner to tag. Throw in from right field is in time. Wow. Stumbling was Dalton Smith into the home plate. And that ends the inning. Wow. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitching change already going to be made here by Kenai. They will call on their left fielder, Hunter Williams, to come in. Matthew Schilling will stay in the game, however, as he stays in at left field. So they switch Williams and Schilling. So Schilling goes 2 complete innings here today. It was just the pitch count that was really high. That really got him in trouble. Somewhere probably up around 50, 60 pitches in 2 innings, I would think. 64 total pitches in 2 innings for Matthew Schilling. It was that rough first inning that really did him in. So Brooks Inch, Ryan Mullen, and Cam Kurtz will come up to the plate here, as Inch will lead it off here for the Wolves. Takes a first pitch ball from the right-handed pitching Hunter Williams. Inch had a 2 RBI single back in the first inning. Rips this one out to right center field. This will get down for a base hit. Inch now 2 for 2. As Ryan Mullen will come up to the plate. I didn't mark what Mullen did in his first plate appearance, but he got on base. Go back in our stats and take a look. Called strike delivered by Hunter Williams. What did Ryan Mullen do in his first plate appearance, Nick? He got a walk. He was one of the walks that Matthew Schilling gave up. Gave up a handful of walks. As the bat pulled back in time by Ryan Mullen. Hunter Williams may need a new hat. He's thrown a couple of pitches in which the follow-through has knocked the hat off. Called strike. 1-2. Runner goes. Called strike. Strike him out. Did they throw him out? No, they did not. It's a strikeout of Ryan Mullen for out number 1, a stolen base for Brooks Inch. A ball delivered to Cam Kurtz, who walked. Got credit for an RBI as the bases were loaded. That ball gets away and far enough away from Ari Miller for Brooks Inch to move down to third. Pitch bounced up there, and Ari Miller unable to keep it in front of him. 2-0 the count here to Cam Kurtz. That time Miller does a nice job to put the glove down and keep it in front. 3-0, however. Hunter Williams comes set. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Second time that Cam Kurtz has walked here today. As Tommy Malloy will come up to the plate with 1 out and runners at the corners now. Malloy appearance. And he bunts, and it's a good bunt. And it will advance the runner down to second. There are now 2 outs, however, after the sacrifice bunt by Tommy Malloy. Back to the top of the order in Dallin Roberts. Williams taking his time. Delivers a fastball low for ball 1. Well, tomorrow's games start at noon. Tomorrow, Wasilla and West will play in that first game of the day. Palmer and Kenai at 3 o'clock as Roberts comes up empty on that swing, 1-1. That game is at 3 o'clock. And then the nightcap at 6 o'clock, Chugiak and Service. 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. Chugiak getting a win yesterday in their first game against West, 8-3. This one lifted out to center field, high in the air. Levi Mickelson is camped underneath it and retires Roberts for out number 3 for Alaska Legion State Baseball Tournament here in Alaska Legion. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium as we move on to the bottom of the 4th inning. And Dalton Smith will lead it off. Smith at a terrific top of the 4th on the mound, and now he'll lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch swinging over to the third baseman, Gabe Smith. And he's going to get charged with an error. E5. I think Gabe Smith was anticipating a hop that never happened. Ball just hugged the turf. Trickled under his glove, and now here's Liam Learman. Gets down a bunt off the mound. Hunter Williams, he bobbles it, but still has time, and he throws out Learman for the first out, but Liam advances the runner down to second. So Gunnar Mountcastle. Now the center fielder for the Wolves here. Rips it in the hole out to right field. They're waving around the runner, and here comes Dalton Smith. The throw in is not in time, And it's an RBI single for Gunnar Mountcastle. Mountcastle advancing down to second on the throw. And then the throw skipped into the dugout. And it allows Mountcastle to move up to third. So Mountcastle over at third. Here's Jack Mullen. As Mullen today has walked, scored a run, tried a bunt. The throw down actually hit Mountcastle in between the feet that time. Ari Miller trying to throw it down to Gabe Smith. Mentioned Mullen walked, scored a run. He flied out to right field. This one he lifts out to left center field. Left fielder Schilling is there. Runner tagging. The throw in is not in time. Sacrifice fly, RBI single for Jack Mullen. So Brooks Inch will come up to the plate. And the catcher, Ari Miller, wanting the strike but didn't get it. Stuck his glove back at his pitcher saying that was a great pitch. This one lifted out to left field. Schilling is there. So after the long wait, Gabe Jonas delivers the first hit of the game for Kenai. And now Ari Miller. He squares around to bunt, and ooh, did that hit him or did it hit the bat? That had to hit the bat. That's got to be a strike. That's unbelievable. Had to. If it hit him, he's on first. It hit the bat. That had to hit like the knob or somewhere on the handle. So it's 0-1, an unfortunate strike for Ari Miller. Shows bunt here, pulls it back, takes a ball, 1-1 now. That was one of the weirder plays I've seen. Hit off the end of the bat, like the knob or somewhere on the handle. Oop, that one got the bat. You could hear that one, 1-2. All right, now Ari Miller fighting just to put a bunt down. One and two, the looper. Are they going to double him off? Yes, they are. A line out of Ari Miller. Move on to the bottom of the fifth inning, bottom third of the order coming up to the plate as Ryan Mullen will lead things off, followed by Cam Kurtz and Tommy Malloy. 0-1 pitch from Hunter Williams is up high for a ball, 1-1. It's crazy to think we have already hit the end of July and that these are the last games of Alaska baseball this season. As deep in the hole, it's short. What a play by Andrew Pye. Threw an absolute dart over to Gabe Jonas to retire Ryan Mullen for out number one. But after this week, Legion Baseball will be wrapping up another season. Cam Kurtz takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Then high school football will be here, regular season. First game starts on August 16th. 0-1 pitch. 1-1. Once again, Hunter Williams losing the hat after the pitch. I think it's about every third pitch he loses the hat, and that's not a joke. Pay attention. So he just replaced the hat. All right, there's a pitch. 2-1. This is the second pitch after he lost the hat initially. 2-1 pitch. Okay, 3-1. So if my count has been on here, this should be the pitch where he loses the hat. 3-1. Oh, didn't happen that time. But he did walk Cam Kurtz. For the third time today, Kurtz is aboard via a walk. But it's just crazy to think that already the high school baseball season is wrapping up. Now, obviously, a team would be fortunate to go play in the postseason after the state tournament. Go play in the Northwest Cart. And there's a called strike delivered to Tommy Malloy. Oh, 1. Breaking ball. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Just did get a piece of Tommy Malloy as he tried to dance out of the way, so a hit by pitch. And it'll bring us back to the top of the order in Dallin Roberts. And I know it's the end of July, but it's already fall sports season coming up here in the state of Alaska. Spinning around was Hunter Williams, chasing Cam Kurtz back to the second base bag. Bounces up there. Nice stop. Kurtz going to try for third, however, and he does make it safely as the throw got past the third baseman, Gabe Smith. Now he's coming home, and he's safe. And the ball skipped away from catcher Ari Miller on the throw back in. A couple of errors. Already hit the end of July. And that these are the last games of Alaska baseball this season, as deep in the hole at short. What a play by Andrew Pye. Threw an absolute dart over to Gabe Jonas to retire Ryan Mullen for out number 1. But after this week, Legion Baseball will be wrapping up another season. Cam Kurtz takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Then high school football will be here, regular season. First game starts on August 16th. 0-1 pitch. 1-1. Once again, Hunter Williams losing the hat after the pitch. I think it's about every third pitch he loses the hat, and that's not a joke. Pay attention. So he just replaced the hat. All right, there's a pitch. 2-1. This is the second pitch after he lost the hat initially. 2-1 pitch. Okay, 3-1. So if my count has been on here, this should be the pitch where he loses the hat. 3-1. Oh, didn't happen that time. But he did walk Cam Kurtz. For the third time today, Kurtz is aboard via a walk. But it's just crazy to think that already the high school baseball season is wrapping up. Now, obviously, a team would be fortunate to go play in the postseason after the state tournament. Go play in the Northwest Cart. And there's a called strike delivered to Tommy Malloy. Oh, 1. breaking ball. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Just did get a piece of Tommy Malloy as he tried to dance out of the way, so a hit by pitch. And it'll bring us back to the top of the order in Dallin Roberts. And I know it's the end of July, but it's already fall sports season coming up here in the state of Alaska. Spinning around was Hunter Williams, chasing Cam Kurtz back to the second base bag. Bounces up there. Nice stop. Kurt's going to try for third, however, and he does make it safely as the throw got past the third baseman, Gabe Smith. Now he's coming home, and he's safe. And the ball skipped away from catcher Ari Miller on the throw back in. A couple of errors here. And it brings in Cam Kurtz. And then also allows Tommy Malloy to advance. An E2 and then an E7 on the throw back in. There's a ground ball. And it'll drive in a run as Malloy comes in to score on the ground ball from Dallin Roberts. And it's 8-1 now after that ground ball. Yeah, Ari Miller did get hit in the face when Cam Kurtz came in to slide. Looked like maybe the left hand of Kurtz got him in the face. So 2 outs now for Dalton Smith. Who started this top of the 5th inning in interesting fashion. Fouled off first base side. I've called a lot of high school baseball games, and I have never seen that happen. 2-1 pitch. Foul tipped into the glove of Ari Miller, 2-2. If you miss what happened, you'll have to go back to the last half inning, rewind the broadcast a little bit. Check swing. Holding his swing was Dalton Smith. The appeal down to first. No appeal. 3-2. Hunter Williams comes set from the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And Dalton Smith down on a ball down low. Defensive change here for Kenai. Malachi Olson. In right field now. Taking over for Trenton Otomus. 2-0. Hunter Williams still on the mound here for the Twins. 2-0 pitch. Now 2-1 as that one catches the outside. Well, Learman's been pretty quiet with the bat today. Did have a sacrifice bunt in his last plate appearance. Now 2-2. He's walked, struck out, had the sacrifice bunt. Two-two delivery. Ooh, just missed. It seemed like Williams had just gotten that call. And now it's 3-2. This one lifted out to center field and unable to get there. Mickelson watches it get by. Learman will stop at second. Ball was slicing away from Mickelson. Give Learman a hit. It's a double for Liam Learman. And now here's Gunnar Mountcastle. Mountcastle comes up empty. Mountcastle is hit into a fielder's choice, stolen a base, had an RBI single in his last plate appearance in the 4th inning, but he also had a base hit in the 2nd. This one, chopper down the first base line, had enough spin on it to kick it foul. That is one thing I miss about having grass. Liam Learman got on via the double. He's down at second base. Finish my thought. Missed the chalk lines. The actual chalk from the dirt. And the ball would spin it up. This one spoiled foul. First base side. Going to reach the parking lot. The foul lines here all the way down to the wall are turf. That one fouled off to the screen. Still 0-2. Grass outfield, turf infield, but the turf also extends all the way to the outfield wall. A couple of feet into fair territory even. Good stop by Ari Miller, the catcher. Oh, 2. Mountcastle, is it going to stay fair down the line? No. Slicing foul. The turf here at Mulcahy Stadium probably going on at least 10 years old, maybe even older than that. Probably, I want to say maybe 2010, 2011 was when it was installed originally. Now they have bits and pieces that have been reapplied over the years. That pitch misses for a ball, 1-2. Count actually 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one lifted out to left field. It's going to be playable for Matthew Schilling in left field. And he retires Mountcastle for out number 1. Other fields in the Anchorage area also now have turf baseball fields. It's become a very popular thing to do up here, just given the weather and the climate. Of course, Bartlett has an entire turf baseball field, turf infield, turf outfield. That's usually the first field that is ready to play come springtime. 1-0 pitch, 2-0. Called strike, 2-1. Oberg Field out in Chugiak is also a beautiful facility where the Chugiak Mustangs play some of their home American Legion games. Bouncer over to the shortstop. Good throw by Andrew Pye for out number 2. Does advance Liam Learman down to third. Brooks Inch, who's now on the mound. Takes a first pitch ball. If you're looking ahead to the top of the 7th and who's coming up for Kenai, As Inch, what a play by the pitcher, Hunter Williams, knocked his glove off, stuck with it, and then throws out. Here's Ari Miller, the catcher. 0 for 2 today. Struck out back in the second, had a line drive over to short. Ended up being a double play. Actually had a line drive over to the second baseman. No, it was shortstop. Hit a line drive to short to Ari Miller, and then it was doubled off. Gabe Jonas back in the fifth. As Brooks Inch comes set, 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. Kenai does play tomorrow. They play at 3 o'clock tomorrow against Palmer. Eagle River has a day off tomorrow. 2-1. Called strike, 2-2. Fouled off, first base side, out of play. Brooks Inch comes set. 2-2 pitch. Did he go? The appeal? No, he didn't. Yeah. You can tell from up here he didn't go around. Checked his swing. Able to hold it back was Ari Miller. Levi Mickelson is in the on-deck circle. 3-2. Low, ball 4.